Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday talk, which is going to be shown on Monday this week because Monday is August 1st. So I'm actually recording this on Sunday, July 31st. Just doing it a little different this time because I know a lot of people are going, what are you doing for August? What am I doing for August? People are sort of talking about it a lot in the Facebook group. So what I've decided to do for August is I'm going to do clean Ketovore. So it'll mostly look like BBBE because I really enjoy BBBE, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. But I do have some fish and chicken to use up. I have shrimp in the freezer and some chicken thighs and some chicken skins. I'd like to use those up this month, and the rest is going to be pretty much all beef. So I have a lot of beef in the freezer. I found a really good deal yesterday at the store. For those of you that are local to my area, hopefully the sale is all week, but I got New York strip steaks with the fat cap still on, $8.99 a pound, and also New Zealand butter at the Langley Costco, $6.99. They were well stocked. A lot of times I go and that whole shelf is empty. So I went early Saturday morning, so it was nice to get in on that. But anyways, that's that. I'm well stocked for at least 2 or 3 weeks of everything that I need, but I do just want to use up some things that are not in the beef, butter, bacon, egg umbrella. What does clean Ketovore mean to me? It is animal-based. It means meat. It will often, most of the times, it's going to look like BBBE because those are my favorite foods anyways. But like I said, I do have some shrimp and chicken skins to use up in my freezer. So I'd like to use that up this month. I have coffee. So that doesn't count as, pure carnivore for those people that follow that. And I have some seasonings, the ones that agree with me. There's, I don't use that many these days. Sometimes I'll throw in some herbs into something just to flavor it, like some fresh herbs, flavor it, take them out. That seems to be okay for me. Black pepper is something I cannot have, so that never appears in any of my cooking. I can handle a little bit of white pepper. And this month I'm going to try adding a daily tablespoon or 2 at the most of fermented foods like this wild brine sauerkraut that I got yesterday. It's green cabbage, sea salt, garlic, organic, and it's raw, unpasteurized. It's raw fermented. So fermented foods are really good for people who have gut issues, which I have some. Since I've been off my acid reflux prescription for about 2 years now, it's actually gotten so much better. I mean, at first it was a real struggle. So I'm trying to sort of maybe see if this is kind of the final piece of the puzzle because I have heard other people talking about this. So I thought I'd give it a try. But we're talking very minimal. And that's kind of what I eat. I'm going to probably do some what I eat in a day videos this month so that you can see, what does 2 or 3 meals look like for me. When I'm really doing a good BBBE or a good Ketovore, I kind of fall into a natural 2 meal a day pattern because 3 meals just seems too much. If I have a big breakfast, then I generally am not hungry till dinner. If and a lot of times I'm not hungry in the morning. The only times I might have 3 meals are those days that I get up at 4 in the morning because I want to get a few things done before I go to work at 6. That aside, I didn't want this to go on for too long, but I just wanted to let you guys know what I'm doing this month. It's going to be clean Ketovore. I'm going to do some what I eat in a day videos. I've already done a couple of meal preps, and even though they're labeled BBBE meal preps, they apply to clean Ketovore as well. I may do another one if I can think of something else to do for meal prep that I haven't already shown before. If you have anything you'd like to see, like, maybe you've never made a certain type of meat or a certain recipe and you'd like to see how it's done. I should add too, because just for my own accountability, this month, August, I want to avoid sweeteners. So that is probably the toughest one for me of all. I just can sometimes really get into that whole, I need sweeteners, and I don't really, and I've had periods of time where I've avoided them. And I think a lot of people, it's a hard one too. I can go 30 days without dairy. And actually, I'm not necessarily, to me, limited dairy is a part of my Ketovore. I don't eat cheese snacks or anything like that. Like, that used to be a real problem for me. And so this month there'll be no gratuitous dairy and cheese eating. The only time I will have dairy would be like if it's part of a recipe. So say I'm making, I might make my BBBE noodles with some ground beef, a little bit of cream sauce. That is, to me, is an acceptable use of dairy, because I'm not like it's only going to be a little bit. I'm not drinking it or shoving a bunch of cheese into my mouth, which can be a real problem and slows down your weight loss, let me tell you. So that reminds me too. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to take down my measurements. So that's really important, because sometimes you can go through a month without any weight loss, even though you've done everything right. It's a good idea to take your measurements, and I always forget to do that. I'm terrible. So taking measurements tomorrow, I'm finally going to weigh myself tomorrow morning to see what happened in July, because I did lose some weight at the beginning of July. Then I was on vacation for 2 weeks where things, were loosey-goosey, and kind of want to see where I'm at. And whatever the number is, it's just a number, and I'm going to move on from whatever it is right in the next moment, write it down, and then see where I am at the end of August. I mean, a lot of you know that over the course of the last several years, I've lost 125 pounds. I still have 40 to 50 that I would like to lose. And you have to treat it like a journey rather than a diet. If you treat it like a diet, then it is something that you start, and then when you're finished, you go off and you gain it all back. And I certainly did that many times in my life when I was younger. I did that. Treating it as a journey and treating it as a permanent lifestyle change, that means that, okay, even if you go off, because that's your permanent lifestyle, and it's part of your journey to take detours sometimes, unplanned detours or planned detours, you just carry on. That's what allows me. It's a mental shift. It allows me to have a bad day, sometimes totally unintentionally, but I have to admit, sometimes intentionally. But it allows me to have that bad day and then just move on. I mean, because what is the alternative? for me, there isn't anything else really. This is what has worked. I've, never had a long-term success, and it is just as important to learn how to maintain weight as it is to learn how to lose weight. I spent my entire life either losing or gaining, never in the same spot. And I hear people online in some of the groups, they get really upset if they've been maintaining their weight. They call it things like a plateau and a stall. I get that. It feels like you're stalled. It feels like things are not working. But they're working. If you're not gaining, they're working. I mean, they are, it's important. And even if you did go up a few pounds, I mean, that's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong either. Like, your body is, especially women's bodies and all our hormones, I mean, they do weird and wacky things sometimes. And the best course of action is to not panic about it. Maybe, sure, there are things you can take a look at. Your total carbs versus net carbs, carb creep. Are you having alcohol? Too much dairy. Like, those are all common things that stall. But if you are, looking at those things, scaling them back, and maybe, things are not going as fast as you want them to go, that is not necessarily a bad thing, because your body will come around again. I'm living proof of that. Because, I didn't lose the 25 pounds in one go. Like, it was a lot of that, months at the same weight, going up a little bit, and then, coming back down. Like, it really is a lot of that, especially for those of you that have a large amount to lose. And I know that some of my people that view my videos do. And so I just want you to stay encouraged by the fact that if you make this your lifestyle and embrace it, and know that sometimes it's not going to be perfect, sometimes it'll look like you're doing everything right and nothing's moving, just stay with me. Like, it happens to me too. Just stay here. Just keep doing it, because the alternative is just going right back up to where I was before, for me, and show a picture down there, somewhere up there, somewhere. So yeah, I want to try to keep these Tuesday talks, small, like not, 20, 30 minutes. I've probably already gone over that. We'll see. But I had a lot of good suggestions from you guys last time on my very first one. And so I'll try to incorporate those things. Like, a lot of people want to know how I got started with keto. Definitely going to, talk about that. There's just a lot to fit into one video. So I think I'm going to call it over, and we'll start August off. We're calling it Awesome August in the Facebook group. Anyways, I think that is it for this week. I will see you on the next video.
Yes. Yeah, I hope this gets cut out of the video. Yeah, it's very early morning. If I seem a little unfocused, that's why. Oh man, where was I? And now I can't even remember what I just said. I hope this gets cut. We were talking about... yeah, starting the whole section again. Yes.